Let us see how they feel about it. And of course, we have amongst us a panel of enlightened people on this topic, breaking the stereotype, Muslim identity and popular culture, who have strong opinions of this subject. Many brothers here behind me, on my right, on my left. We'll take questions from them too, get their comments before we move on to the session of Dr. Zakir Naik himself giving his expert comments. I would prefer to verbatim put forward before all of you and our audience the email comments verbatim without, as a moderator, manipulating any of the words they have written, so that I'm not charged of the critical comment. Maybe you cut and chopped off and didn't give an adequate meaning. So kindly excuse me if some of the spellings or the sentence construction might not be very appropriate, but it's apt to the situation that we present them as we receive them. I begin with short comments which we received in large quantities. Comments like from Tahur Razia, Dr. Zakir Naik, we are waiting for your sequel, Jazakallah Khair. From Manzoor Ahmad, give answers to all of that questions in Peace TV. I was upset to see you in debate. 1 hour is not enough for that debate. We had, in the earlier instance itself, a long comment from one brother, Imran Ali. I would urge your patience to hear his comments, which I found very introspective. The moment I heard Dr. Zakir Naik is taking part in the NDTV talk, we the people, I made myself available to see how this time Barkha Dutt is going to sideline the arguments of a renowned personality. Well, I forgot that there is a level of dishonesty from her side using which she can sideline just about anyone. As expected, he was not given enough chance to speak, and the focus was completely on Shahrukh Khan of Bollywood. Not just that, second person who got the chance to speak more was Karan Johar. Dr. Zakir Naik needs to understand that such shows are meant to just punch each other's arguments with a single liner. One cannot try to explain big concepts in just few seconds. Although his statements were bold, huge and true, too much of noise pollution sidelined them to some extent. To top this, Barkha Dutt, as expected, did not give fair time to Dr. Zakir Naik. This was clearly evident. But hold on, that's Dr. Zakir Naik. He just doesn't walk away without really sparking a thought process in people's mind, irrespective of how much time he is given. And as I thought, he did the same. If you carefully observe his statements, they tickled the brain of the viewers who would later go and check its authenticity. He knew there were millions of people watching the show, including viewers who don't watch Peace TV. And he took this as a golden opportunity to ignite the spark of reinvestigating the 9/11 attack, which was the origin of this entire concept of terrorism and Muslims getting stereotyped. He clearly informed there were 75 DVDs released of top American analysts and professors who proved that 9/11 was an inside job. He also quoted 2 websites names before Barkha Dutt cut him off. He quoted http 911truth.org and one more site name which slipped my mind. People would surely go back and check these and hence find out the truth for themselves. So even though time given to him was not fair, he completed his job. He made the following punchlines. There is nothing called moderate or liberal Muslim. There is only practicing Muslim, partially practicing Muslim, and non-practicing Muslims. It is the duty of a Muslim to tell others about the truth of Islam. Blaming Osama bin Laden or Taliban to be terrorists based on CNN and BBC versions is wrong and unfair. It is important to give fair hearing to such allegations and check the truth before blaming someone to be a terrorist. The videos shown are nothing but morphed, which generally the media is good at. 9/11 was an inside job and cannot be performed by Arabs. physical appearance, beard, cap, etc. do not come under the 70 major sins of Islam. So there are more important things over and above the physical appearance in Islam. But to follow complete Islam, physical look also is important. These statements were more than enough to make people think twice about their stance. Shahrukh himself was carefully listening to these arguments and looked impressed. That's my observation. Maybe I'm wrong. Also, he boldly spoke out the truth without fearing anyone. Unlike others, his confidence showed his trust on Allah and how he can go to any limit to speak the truth without fearing anything. Based on this email on the website by Imran Ali, we had responses which are interesting too of one or two other brothers. Mustafa Hussain responds, "May peace, mercy and blessings of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be on all of you. Today, I happened to see the program We the People, in which all the Bollywood people were there, along with Brother Zakir. And I'm totally unhappy to tell that the media once again played double standards. Barkha Dutt, supposed to be a generalist, forgot the rights of time allotment. Many questions asked to Zakir Bhai were given only maximum 30 seconds to answer, whereas others were given 2 to 3 minutes. All the answers to the questions were interrupted by others to cut down Brother Zakir's answers and get it out of context. Just see the double standards of the media. I request all the people reading this message to stand up and do the best to stop this evil, as there is a Sahih Hadith that whoever sees the evil around him should stop with his hand. If not, then tongue. If not, at least by the heart. This is the lowest level of Iman. According to me, these media people have cheated Zakir Bhai, or else he wouldn't have accepted those sort of rules. However much people try to suppress Islam, inshallah, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it will grow more than that, inshallah. This comment was followed by another brother, Brother Naveed. He says, Allah is always with the truth. This media themselves show that they were wrong and not true people. As Allah said, truth stands out clear from falsehood. Though Brother Zakir Naik was not given chance, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed the world through their channel how patient he was and peaceful to tolerate their injustice. If Shahrukh Khan and others want to lead their lives according to their perspective without following the rules of Allah, they are at loss and not realizing it now. But when the truth will come in front of them, till that time it will be very late for them to tell now, I want to be a practicing Muslim. They may live a wealthy and famous life in this world, but what will be their fate after they die? Not thinking? Maybe Allah gave hidayah to all humankind to walk on the straight path and give Brother Zakir Naik more knowledge and power to stand firm for Islam and protect him always. Ameen. All our prayers are with him. To this, there's a response from a true Indian Muslim. That's how he calls himself. If anyone should be downcast out there, it should be Dr. Zakir. He supposedly is a learned scholar and knows the ins and outs of Islam, or so he says. He says Osama is not responsible for the 9/11. He's spreading a wrong word again, and that's a bad move, as he has many followers. I'm sorry, but I beg to differ on this. Websites, journals, media might say what they want, but a person's words can be altered. What attire is Dr. Zakir dressed in? Why does he pose for photos in a suit? Why not wear the dress of the Arabs when he proclaims to go all out on Islam? Considering this man has so many followers, he shouldn't spread a wrong word saying Taliban, Osama, etc. wasn't responsible for 9/11. That's absolutely wrong. I don't go by what CNN, BBC or any other biased channels have said, but by the people themselves who have taken ownership of what's happened.